so today we got lesson 1.5. All right, you're going to be learning how to rewrite literal equations. All right, you're pretty much taking an equation, you're rewriting it, and you're going to use the formula for whatever. Okay, let's see what we come up with here, and we'll go down. All right, we're going to skip a few slides here just to get right to it. Okay, and here's our first slide, example 1. Solve the literal equation 3y plus 4x equals 9. All right, I'm going to model a few of these guys for you, and then I'll let you try some on your own. So here's the first one, 3y plus 4x equals 9. And I'm going to split my screen here, and I'm going to rewrite this again and say 3y plus, give me a number. 8, beautiful. And 3y plus 8, and I'll do this one in red, equals 9. All right, so almost exactly the same equation. I want to just show you, you guys know how to do this already. All right. There's not much difference than solving a two-step equation or a multi-step equation here. You know how to do this, right? The only difference is you're not going to come up with an answer at the very end and say, okay, x equals 7, or y equals 2, or p equals 9. You're just rearranging some stuff. So on the right-hand side, I got 3y plus 8 equals 9. What will be my first step here? Yeah, I'm going to bring this positive 8 over to the other side. I'm going to say 3y equals, now I'm not going to actually do the math here. I'm just going to say 9 minus 8. When I bring this positive 8 on the left-hand side to the right side, now it turns into a negative 8. Next to 9, call it 9 minus 8. How are we doing so far? Why did you bring that 8 over? Just out of curiosity. Why did you bring that 8 over? Yep. Yeah, I want to isolate the y, send out the y, right? So I want to get that term 3y by itself. Well, 8 doesn't have a y, so got to go. Well, same thing on the left-hand side. 3y plus 4x equals 9. Which term does not have a y? What else doesn't have a y? On the left side, the 4x, right? On the left-hand side, I have a term with y. I have a term without the y. Again, I want to get this 3y by itself. So I'm going to bring this positive 4x to the other side. Well, what does that look like? 3y equals 9. Their positive 4x is negative 4x or minus 4x. Same first step of isolating the y. Back to the right side. Well, I don't want 3y, I just want y. How do you get rid of that coefficient 3? Good, I'm going to divide it by 3. And I'm going to divide this side by 3. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. See you later. Y equals 9 minus 8 over 3. Now, obviously, I would simplify that. Okay, but let's look at the left-hand side. Same piece here, right? Same exact process. I have 3y equals something. I don't want 3y, I want y. How do you get rid of that 3? Same process, divide by 3. And I get y equals 9 minus 4x. Can I combine 9 minus 4x? No. So leave it as that, divided by 3. And there's one of your answers. And I say one of your answers because some people don't divide both terms by 3. And you have the option here. I'm just going to rewrite this piece here. 3y equals 9 minus 4x. 3y equals 9 minus 4x. And rather than dividing both terms by 3 at the same time, I'm going to divide each term separately by 3, which is also correct. Okay, just how you do it, just how, whatever your preference is. I do want you to recognize both ways. Okay, so you get y equals, what's 9 divided by 3? Minus 4 over 3x. Now, I will accept 4 over 3 with the x in the middle. I will accept 4x over 3. I will not accept, and if it looks like this when you write it, it is wrong. And that x on the bottom, and the x in the denominator. That's incorrect. Okay, so if I take 4 and divide by 3, and then I multiply by x, good. I take 4 and multiply by x, and then divide by 3, good. You will get the same answer. If I take 4 and divide by the product of 3x, you will get the incorrect answer. All right, so the ones in red are grammatically correct. This one in blue, don't make it look like that. I will take points off. All right, so here's your two answers. Y equals the quantity of, if you want to put parentheses there, 9 minus 4x divided by 3, great. Or y equals 3 minus 4/3 x. And sometimes I would think about, like, should I divide in? Well, one of those numbers divides into the other number evenly. Great, you can do it. Okay, but I'll leave that up to you. But do recognize both. Example number 2. So we got y equals, I'm going to rewrite this, y equals 3x plus 5xz, and I'm solving for x. Wait a second. I'm solving for x, and two terms have an x. Great, let me combine those like terms. They're not like terms. Why not? It's 3x and what? 5xz. Okay, those are not like terms. So how do I solve this for x now? Yeah, awesome. So you could say we have to divide out the x, or we could factor out the x. All right? So you've seen this before. 2 times the quantity of x plus 2. What can you do with this 2 here? What's that called? Distribute. Well, you can distribute the 2 in, or you could factor the 2 out. In this case, both these terms have an x, and I want to solve for x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the x. Once I factor it out, whatever's left is going to be in that quantity. Well, distributing is multiplying. What's the opposite of distributing, or opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So what I'm really doing is I'm dividing both these terms by x. I'm dividing out the x of these terms. If I divide the x out of the 3x, I'm left with 3. If I divide the x out of 5xz, I'm left with 5z. Beautiful. So now I have y equals x times the quantity of, I don't care what the quantity of is. I know I have x times the quantity of something. I don't want x times the quantity of something. I want just x. So how do I get rid of that times the quantity of? Times the quantity. What's the opposite of times? Or multiplying? Good. So I'm going to multiply by, I'm going to divide by the quantity of 3 plus 5z. So I'm not just dividing by one number. I'm dividing by an expression, 3 plus 5z, but it's a quantity which represents one number. So I divide, what I do to the right side, I do to the left side. So I divide the left side by 3 plus 5z as well. Well, the quantity of 3 plus 5z on the right and divided by 3 plus 5z simplifies to 1. X equals y over 3 plus 5z. Alright, so back to number 1. 3y minus x equals 9. I'm solving for y. On the left-hand side, I see a y. Do you see any y's on the right? Nope. So I want to isolate the left-hand side of y's. What's on the left that does not have a y? A negative x. Let's get this negative x on the right-hand side. So when I put this negative x on the right, it turns into a positive x. So now I have 3y equals 9 plus x. I don't want 3y, I want y. How do you get rid of this 3? Divide by 3, and now you have the option here of doing this, dividing both terms. So you go y equals x plus 9, or 9 plus x, over 3. Or you could have divided, so I'm going to take this step here, you could have divided each one of these by 3. Alright, and I want you to recognize the difference. And you would get y equals, 9 divided by 3 is 3, plus x over 3, or y equals 3 plus 1/3 x. All the same thing. Now, I want you guys to be careful here, because when you write this on a calculator that doesn't have a fraction piece, if you write 9 plus x backslash 3, and I substitute in for x, then my calculator is going to do x divided by 3 first, then add 9. So what's missing here? In order for you to get this to be, in order for you to tell this calculator to do 9 plus x first, yep. Yeah, so if you're writing in this manner, make sure you put parentheses around the 9 plus x, because you want that to be done first. That's the first operation. Then divide by 3. Okay? If the calculator has the abilities of fractions, then if you just write 9 plus x in the numerator, divided by 3, then it will complete 9 plus x first. Alright, so to finish number 5, 2x plus kx equals m, and I'm solving for x. Two terms have an x. Are they like terms? Cannot combine them. Can't combine these terms, but I want the x. What do I do? What's that magical phrase? Factor it out. So I'm going to factor out the x, which is the same thing as saying divide out the x. Divide out the x and something's left. Whatever is left is going to be in those quantities. Well, if I divide out the 2x by x, I'm left with 2. If I divide out the x from kx, I'm left with k equals m. Awesome, getting closer. I don't want x times the quantity of anything. I just want x. How do you get rid of that times the quantity of? Good. Divide by the 2 plus the quantity of. And you get x is equal to m over 2 plus k. Or if you did this all on one line, x equals, the proper notation would have been divided by the quantity of 2 plus k. And that would have been your final answer there. We have the formula of the surface area. Okay. S equals, I'm going to just rewrite this. So 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. And I'm solving for the length. Where's the length? On the right-hand side or the left-hand side? On the right. Is there a term on the right that does not have anything to do with the length? Yes. That term should not be on the same side of the length. So this plus 2W should be on the other side. Does not belong on the same side with any other term that has a length. So what happens to that positive 2WH? Negative 2WH or minus 2WH equals 2 length times W plus 2 length times height. Great. Two terms with an L, with the length. Can I combine those two terms? No, they're not like terms. One is 2LW, one is 2LH. What do I need to do? I want to get that L out of there. How do I get the L out of there? Factor it out, divide out. Good. So I got S minus 2WH equals, and I'm going to factor out the L. And when I factor out the L, I'm left with the quantity of what? 2W plus 2H. Again, just to go over the steps here, it's like I'm dividing both these terms by L when I factor out that L. Your L is crossed out, your L is crossed out, and you're left with 2W plus 2H. Good. I don't want L times the quantity of anything. I just want L. How do you get rid of that times the quantity of? Divide by that quantity of. Well, I'm going to divide by the quantity of 2W plus 2H. That will allow me to write L equals. What I do to one side, do to the other side, and divide this by the quantity of 2W plus 2H. And I get S minus 2WH over 2W plus 2H. Can I cross out the 2's here? No. In order for me to be able to cross out that 2, every term would have to have a 2. Which term does not have the 2 there? The S. Right? If this was 2S minus 2WH, then I could simplify the 2 out of all of them. Can I simplify the W's? No. Every term needs to have that W. So this is my final answer. The length is equal to S minus the quantity of S minus 2WH over 2W plus 2H.